What's up, guys? Welcome to gwhisky. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below. With that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Talisker Surge. Stick around. Okay, so we're looking at a Talisker today, and Talisker has been a really divisive brand recently. I recently looked at the revamped 10-year-old, and I really liked it. I said it was as good as the old 10s. And then I had another bottle later on, more recently, and it isn't. And the new 10 aside, a lot of people don't like the look of the new Talisker line. A lot of people got very upset, myself included, when the 18 skyrocketed in price last year. And for all the love that Talisker gets from enthusiasts for just being a very good whiskey with a distinctive house style, at the end of the day, it's still a Diageo product, and it's colored and it's chill filtered, and yeah. So the general consensus nowadays is that Talisker is a great brand, it's a great whiskey, but they're doing a lot of things wrong. And I'm sure like the people at the distillery are wonderful people, but Diageo is gonna Diageo. And I don't want to spend the whole video trash talking Diageo, so that'll be the last time. Let's just get it out of the way now. I'm not gonna bring it up again. That's a lie. Yes, I will. Anyway, we're here to talk about Surge, and no, not that Surge. Great mustache, though. Now, we're talking about the Talisker Surge. My jokes are so dumb. Talisker Surge. It's the latest addition to the Talisker core range. This one is a travel retail exclusive, and it came out in like September or October of last year, of 2022, so it's still super new. It is no age stated. We don't have a lot of production details about this. Like, we don't know much about the maturation. We do know that American ex-bourbon barrels were involved, and it says it's an ex-bourbon barrel finish, which begs the question, what were you in before? Presumably also bourbon barrels, but maybe like not first fill? I don't know. And nobody else outside the brand knows either, because they don't tell us anything. So if there's anyone out there with some kind of like insider knowledge of how they make this stuff, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I am very curious. But yeah, for now, pretty much everything we know is that ex-American bourbon barrels were involved. So way to stand out. Bourbon barrels, this could revolutionize whiskey making. Being a dick. Stop being a dick, Jeff. Now, this one did spark a bit of controversy when it first came out because it's expensive. This is a pricey whiskey. So people saw the price tag. They saw that it's no age stated. They saw that there's not much in the way of production details. And beyond that, it's a travel retail release, and travel retail has kind of like a spotty reputation. So people understandably were like, WTF. Mostly it was the price though. People were not happy about the price, and they were already pretty dissatisfied with the changes that are happening at Talisker. So it wasn't great publicity for Talisker. Not that they seem to care, but I'm pretty sure this release didn't go as well as Talisker was hoping. We didn't see an initial surge in interest for this bottle. Fuck. Anyway, I actually had zero plans on picking up this bottle, and I didn't actually buy this bottle. What happened is one of my friends picked this up. He popped it, and he didn't much care for it, so he offered to do a bottle swap with me. I agreed because, again, I didn't want to spend the money on it, but I was kind of curious to try it. So now I've got a purple Talisker, and it's not what I thought it would be. And we'll get into that in a second. Let's jump into the review. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. So we have the typical Talisker specs here, which is 45.8% ABV, which, it's 0.2 away from 46. Gets a check. It's 46 in my book. It is probably chill filtered. It's definitely colored. And here's the thing. I'm okay letting that slide when it's the affordable entry-level 10-year-old. But this one is expensive. So that sucks. So people were already pretty pissed when they revamped the new Talisker line. They didn't like the new look. And I don't think our purple bottle here is going to win over any new fans. Especially the old look had this really traditional kind of appeal to it. So by contrast, something like this is going to look way more cartoonish. I don't mind it. I think it's fine. 3 out of 5 for presentation. Not much in the way of details here, but then again, we never get details. It says we get flashes of surging spice. I see what you did there. Not much beyond that. It says it's made by the sea, which is a bold-faced lie. This is definitely made by humans. Our info's not great, and the bottle look is going to divide people. Actually, no, it won't. Most people are going to hate it. On the nose, this is very Talisker. We get those classic Talisker flavors. So we get stuff like minerals, we get gentle peat, we get pepper, and those salty coastal notes. Now, I don't know if I'm being affected by the look of the purple bottle, but this smells purple. Like berries, like blackberries, blueberries, grapes, there's tannins. It almost smells like there's a wine influence in here, which isn't advertised, but it is possible. And to be fair, if there is a wine influence in here, it's well done. Smells fantastic. The palate and finish come on with a pretty heavy dose of salt, minerals, and pepper. So again, classic Talisker. Talisker is one of those whiskeys that it's unmistakable. It doesn't matter which of their expressions you're having. It couldn't be anything else. We get stuff like citrus, so like lemons, limes, oranges. It's extremely fruity, but like a candied fruitiness. So I'm getting stuff like fruit punch or cherry lollipops, grape lollipops. So that's different. It's also spicy with like chili and oak spice, like dark chocolate with those little bits of chili in it. Anybody? Overall though, this is a very fruity Talisker, so I do suspect there were some non-bourbon casks involved in this. Our finish is dry and ashy and oaky and gingery. It's a medium finish. Okay, so pretty much everything I'd heard about this whiskey before I tried it had me kind of primed to hate it. It's no age stated, it's quite expensive. We don't get much in the way of production details. And those are issues for sure. But I like the whiskey. In fact, I think it's really good. It is a bit of an oddball Talisker, like it does stand out from the rest of the line in a good way, I think, but I'd really like to know how they made this stuff. Like, I really wish we had some production details here because it's different. I'd go so far as to say I've never had a Talisker quite like this one, and I mean that in a good way. It's not going to be as good as the fancy stuff, the well-aged stuff, like, the 18, the 25-year-old, obviously. But I do like it better than pretty much the rest of the line. I think this is better than the 10-year-old, particularly the new one. I think it's better than the Storm, the Dark Storm, the Skye, the DE or the Distiller's Edition, the Port Ruige. By the way, before someone tries to correct me down in the comments, that was a joke. I'm being facetious. I know that that is not the correct pronunciation. I did study Spanish in high school. It's pronounced rug. Anyway, while I do like this more than the rest of the line, it is much more expensive than most of the rest of the line. So like in my market, if I bought a 10, a Skye, and a Storm, the total cost would be about the price of one of these, which seems excessive. Still, I gotta say, I do enjoy this stuff. I love those dark fruits in here, those dark candied fruits. I think they add an extra dimension to the whiskey. I think if you're a fan of stuff like sherry peat combos, you should get along with something like this. And as I said, I don't think this is just bourbon cask matured. It can't be. And of course, those dark berry jammy notes are things that show up in other whiskeys, but I guess just the way they interact with the Talisker flavor makes this whiskey feel really unique. It feels really distinctive. And I don't think any other whiskey tastes quite like this one. Obviously, we do have the Talisker profile. This one clearly connects to other Taliskers, but even within the Talisker line, this is distinctive. I like that this never gets too sweet despite being a pretty fruity whiskey. We have some nice zesty citrusy notes that counterbalance all that. We also have some salty, ashy flavors. There's spicy, oaky flavors. None of these let the whiskey get too sweet. So I really like the layers in this, and I like the balance. I'm impressed. This one's not too young. I don't get much heat or sharpness here. It's clearly not like a super old whiskey either, but the balance is fine. Everything works, and I like how the flavors sort of integrate with the Talisker-ness. We do have other Taliskers out there where there are other casks at play. For example, we have the Port Ree, we have the Talisker DE, Distiller's Editions. None of those are as good as this stuff. I prefer this. And here's the thing. I am supposed to hate this stuff because it does have all the makings of a very cynical whiskey. And in some ways, yeah, it is one. But I love drinking this stuff. I think it is a fantastic whiskey. In fact, it's one of my favorite Taliskers. I'm going to score this one 89. But let's keep in mind that 89 applies just to the whiskey, just to the liquid itself. Because of course, we can't have a proper conversation about this stuff unless we address the elephant in the room, and that's going to be price, which brings us to value. So this stuff is too expensive. It's not worth it. I won't buy it again. I mean, I didn't buy it the first time. I traded for it, but yeah, it's just, it doesn't give us enough. It doesn't give us enough transparency. It doesn't give us an age statement. It's not naturally presented, and the price is too high. So I mean, all of those things, you factor them all together. Yeah, we do have a great whiskey. It's not what I'm gonna recommend buying. And here's the thing, if they knocked like a third of the price off of this whiskey, I'd definitely be cool with it. I do think it's a huge step up from a lot of your standard Taliskers, but for the price they're charging, because this is like, it's just shy of 100 pounds, it's over 110 US. You know, for that much, I want transparency, I want an age statement, I want natural presentation. And if you're not getting those things, then it's not worth it. Anyway, I guess that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I do have the Patreon if you want to help support the channel. Otherwise, obviously, I want to hear from you. Have you guys tried the Talisker Surge? Would you be willing to try the Talisker Surge? Would you be willing to pay for the Talisker Surge? I think that's probably the bigger question. And if you have tried it, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it? Not worth the money? Finally, down below in the comments, you can let me know what you want to see me review next. And I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.